What provides the most fundamental and powerful force for a person to sustain life? That is love. All electronic devices work only when power or batteries are connected. If the power is not connected or the battery is dead, this device is dead. It can be said that it is love that acts as a battery for humans. Talking about love, there is the love that is most primitive and close to instinct. It's the love for yourself. If narcissism is too strong pathologically, it causes a lot of pain to people around you, and it can also cause you to be bullied in society. However, in order for a person to survive and live a life full of energy, first of all, love for oneself is essential. Because people love themselves, they try hard to make themselves comfortable and treat themselves well. First of all, you have to work hard because you need to have enough money to make your life comfortable. At the beginning of your career, for the sake of your loved one's future happiness, you can give up the present pleasures for a while and be willing to endure the difficult life. Also, to make yourself respected by others, you need to have a good job or a high position, which will make you study harder. So the world gradually develops and moves forward. Therefore, moderate narcissism becomes the fundamental engine that moves you on, your society, and the world. On the contrary, what happens if you don't love yourself? You would lose the motivation to invest for your future. Therefore, you don't want to do hard things. You don't try hard in life. And it's difficult to find a reason to keep yourself alive. If the disappointments and frustrations about the world are added, you may eventually try to give up on your life entirely. But at this moment, there's another love that keeps you from letting your life go. That's the love of your family. You want to give up on life because you have no attachments to life and it is just too cumbersome to live. But your mother, who always cared for you, comes to mind, and your father's lonely late years make you hesitate. It's too shameful to make your parents cry, so you choose to survive again. If you don't have parents, you might have left without hesitation, but this time, your beloved spouse and your children stand in your way before you make rash decisions. When you visualize them living their lives under difficult circumstances after your death, you remorsefully sigh again and give up on your rash decisions. The people you love, the people who love you, will support your life and encourage you to start over. In your lifetime, many lives were touched by your love. When you were young, you loved your parents. When you were grown up, you loved your lover or spouse. And when you were old, you loved your children. Friends and colleagues also played an important role here. People are happiest when they love and be loved. Without having someone to love and no one to love you, it would be difficult for you to find happy moments. The joy of living will be greatly diminished. It is not difficult to say that a person can only be alive with love. Living without love would be no different from living alone in space. A life without love has little expectation, hope, and meaning. We want to be happy in our lives. However, this happiness itself is not a goal. Rather, it can be said that happiness is a feeling that can be mainly felt. When a goal has been achieved, Among the goals, the greatest goal is to achieve love. For example, if you can win a lottery of $50 million, dollars, you would be incredibly happy, right? Everyone dreams to be like this. But what makes you so happy at this moment? It would make you happy to be able to treat your loved ones well with money, to buy your loving parents a car and a house, and to give your beloved spouse and children a good life and educational opportunities. You would be so happy because you were able to achieve the love that you wanted. Love exists in the deepest and most important position among human emotions and has the greatest influence on human life. All the energy would come from here, and all the joy would also come from here. Only when we love each other can we feel a lot of happiness and increase in the value of life. But the reason why God created humans is also because of love. His purpose of creation is to make us the recipients of His amazing love. It can also be seen that the Ten Commandments, the best commandments He gave, are mainly demanding responsive love. In particular, at the end of the first and the second commandments, which are most important of the Ten Commandments, He said, I will give grace to those who love me and keep my commandments up to 1,000 generations. How much a person who follows this request is, God says He will give kindness to His descendants for generations. Even if you classify the Ten Commandments in terms of content, you can see what He wants. The first to the fourth commandments are meant to love God, and the fifth to the 10th commandments are meant to love our neighbors. Everything is focused on love. Jesus also said that the best of the commandments is to love God and to love your neighbors. The most important one is this: love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind and with all your strength. The second is this: love your neighbor as yourself. There is no commandment greater than these. In Mark 12, verse 30 and 31. Also, the book of 1 Corinthians says, these three may remain: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. 1 Corinthians 13, verse 13. Then, how should we love God? As an expression of that love, God wants us to obey His word the most. In the Gospel of John, if you love me, you will obey what I command. John 14, verse 15. In John 2, this is love, that we walk in obedience to His commands. As you have heard from the beginning, His command is that you walk in love. John 2, verse 6. When God sees us obeying and trying hard to keep His word, God will confirm us that we love Him. Therefore, loving God and obeying Him all have the same meaning. Obedience is just another expression of love. Therefore, we must first love God and keep His words. We will also live in love with our neighbors. The right way humans live is to live in a loving relationship with God. This corresponds to the fundamental purpose of human creation. So, when we live like this, we live most faithfully to God's creative purpose.